not falter.
Sub, thank you. Off to a good start. Thank you for the sub. 26 months. Who is crying at the discotheque, though? We're all happy here. So, why is the... Oh, the autosave while I was on the title screen? Weird. Last session we advanced the plot a whole lot. Lying at the discotheque? Disco something? Is it a song? It's a song. It might be a song. We got serious. We went serious cop mode and pushed the plot forward a lot. We found out a lot about the guy who died, the fact that there are 2 other mercenaries in the city who have access to some pretty serious hardware, and that there's a bit of a time constraint, that they are also investigating his death somehow privately or pretending to, and once they have concluded as to who is responsible, they will execute them. Possibly executing multiple people, possibly just sparking a war that engulfs Revachol, or Martinez at least. We found out a lot more about how he died. We know that he was, or we think, that he was shot while he was in Classie's apartment up on the roof. That he was shot through a window. And we're kind of working through, we found out that she is actually a industrial espionage person of some kind, who is on the run / in hiding under an alias, and she claims that she was afraid that he might have been killed by people who were after her. We are right now, the big thing to investigate that would push the plot forward some more is how did the shooting actually take place? We kind of have, I've been thinking about it, of course, because I can't stop thinking about this game. Kind of have 4 theories on what might have happened. 1, he was shot by basically exactly what Classie said, that we speculated that Ruby, who has a thing for Classie, came through the secret passage onto the roof, shot him through the window, and then left the same way, and then went back downstairs and when she came down, she said, okay, we're going to cover it up by pretending it was a hanging. So that's number 1. Number 2, it could have been Classie herself, and that she shot him from the roof and then made up this story to pin it on Ruby. It could be that he was sniped from far away by somebody who actually was gunning for either for him or for her. And that, you know, Ruby has nothing to do with it. Or the fourth possibility is that it was planned by Classie to have someone snipe him from, you know, that it was a sniper, but that she is in on it and not, you know, that everything that she said to us is an act. You know, the whole panic, the whole. Although then it's still that one. See. If she was involved, then it is weird that she called the police after waiting a couple of days, unless that's also part of her plan. So I don't know. Around and find his jacket for him. Ruby was the organizer of the hang. She's also missing, but the Hardy Boys will be tight-lipped about her location. You need to get them to open up. Have you fully explored the whirling, analyzed the site of the murder, truly and thoroughly interrogated Classie? All this might make convincing them easier. There's a buoy out there that supposedly has her fake documents in it. And then this. Trying to investigate the B locations that the shot might have come from. I think before anything else, I'm going to try talking to them again, now that I have my badge, because I did not have it before. Also, let's get dressed. Oh, I do have more pants. Yeah, if I don't want minus reaction speed or... Yeah, maybe just the fact that those are neutral makes them better than the other two pants that are raising my electrochemistry and giving me a penalty to something else. Alright. Dressed for success. Oh, who are you? Those are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose. Moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. Discard the thought and the pants. I like regular, normal things. I know you do. These inter-isolatory pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. BB Hank, you were watching the stream the other day. Really enjoyed it? That's great. And yeah, I got the, you know, the little thing over on the side that says who's in the chat. I sometimes see people wander in. Sometimes they're bots. Sometimes they're just quiet people. If you like to watch quietly, I am all for it. But I am glad. Oh, you're almost at the end. I'm actually planning to play a different game tomorrow just to kind of slow down on this game and not crash all the way through to the end as fast as possible. Because that is totally what I would do. If I like, I could just stream it 7 days a week and do nothing else, but I'm gonna switch back to playing a puzzle game on Sundays because that's what I used to do. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you. I find them all interesting. I think the next playthrough I'm gonna do is probably going to be someone who is very, very irresponsible. Someone who is not really that interested in the case other than as something to do. Just goes around. He's definitely going to be into, like, spirituality. He's totally going to believe in that curse of the district. Yeah, I'm just gonna play like a maximum drugged out weirdo for my next playthrough. Although again, I'm so torn on whether I want to stream it or not. We'll think about it. A Hobocop type. And then I think for my third one, I was going to go with a guy who's like very, very intelligent, but really just, what's the word? Misanthropic. Just hates humanity, hates the situation that he's in, blames everyone but himself. Just takes every opportunity to go, I don't care about your shit. I got my own problems.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
He might be wearing a disguise. Oh, I need to raise spirit decor or talk to somebody in order to get a reroll on here. Are you wearing a disguise? Yes, it's a hobby of mine. As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response, something to click. It's not happening though. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
Yes? What is it?
Are you with him? Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask? You look cute together. And you look like you don't bathe, on principle. Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? I am wearing a black uniform. You have a blue uniform, and mine is black. What does this mean? It means I'm a patrol officer, sir. What was that, sir? You called me sir. Why? Well, I guess I... Cut the shit. Every second you stand here running your mouth, the case grows colder. Alright, well. I'm gonna need to make the...
I can't believe this shit.
There we go. Alright, I did trigger a reroll by getting a bonus. By discovering that they are here together? I mean, of course they are. Alright, here we go. You know what this is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him. Tell me the truth. Do you know me from somewhere? Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere. Another life. From where? From another life? Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? So, I suppose... Hang on, I'm going to take this off. It's way too hot. This could be here as a sort of, just, like, he's going to quiz me on how well I understand what's going on right now. Because you could have gotten to Wednesday without knowing what precinct you're a part of. I guess. But then again, what is this talking about alternate and totally fictional realities? Are we going to get... I mean, we're going to get meta. We know that already, somehow. We're just going to answer him, obviously. The 41st. Okay. The man sounds genuinely excited. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. He gives you a long, meaningful look and adds... Somewhere good. Let's talk more about that hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned. Oh, the hypothetical 41. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. He blinks aggressively. I'm not busy. You're not busy. Let's just play around. Do you have a crime to solve? Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes, and let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work. This isn't helping. What would our relationship be? Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? You seem like a bit of a drag. No offense, but I could do better. None taken, my friend. None taken. He waves his hand. Let's be honest. There's been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who'd even be worthy of your partnership. And the conclusion is that a man of your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down. Who else is in our imaginary police station? You're not going to believe this, but... Police officers. Yes, sir, solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and, get this, and not getting their drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular, boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lung. Son of Lung? Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. He winks at you sarcastically. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. You going to tell me more about him or her? Not even a little bit. It's an urban myth, the lieutenant says quietly, about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You're not the son of Lung. He's trying to protect you from further rough handling dished out by this sunglassed man. Oh yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that. Can't imagine it anymore. Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. His gray eyes suddenly flash above the glass frames. They feel sad. It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something, a gram of compassion in that sadness. Now, will you answer some questions for me? No. Why not? 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say something. No? Nope. Actually, I don't want to hear you say things. Come on, Gene. Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things. Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head. Man is hanged. Shot and hanged. Shot and then made to look like he was hanged. Person who was shot and hanged. He may have been shot by the person who made it look like he was hanged. Quite alright. Yeah, when was the last time I watched a stream and wasn't doing something else at the same time? Not a problem. He might have been shot by the people who hanged him. Wait, aren't these the same? Shot and then made to look like he was hanged. Might. I'll say that one. What is the motive? Quite hey, why am I telling you these things? I don't know. Why are you? You want something more? What is it? Let's talk about the hanged man again. Where is the author? Where the author of the cover-up is the perp? Makes sense. What's the motive? You don't have a motive? Then the double cover-up seems too neat. I don't know. Why are you? Alright. Let's leave. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? I guess it was kind of weird. There's something we're missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. I should just ask him if we're from the same station. Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
I just have to ask, are we from the same police station? I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What do you say? Okay. Okay? Gene, he said okay. Give it a rest. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again. Weird. Do I want to talk to them again right now? No, I want to go look for bullet traces. Which, unfortunately, is going to take me all over the whole west side of the map, and I'm probably going to be over there for the whole rest of the day. Now, even if I have to sing karaoke late at night, I'm going to sing karaoke. We're going to do it today. Unless, I don't know, unless I get kidnapped. Underside of the boat has been recently tarred. What are these doing in the fish? What? I've seen the RCM around for ages.
Aye, officer.
A woman stands in a raincoat, or a woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we
A
exactly?
fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
I have questions. First is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Alright. Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice. Nice sword. Does it come with a story? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Isn't that what guns are for? Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I've got kids. Can't have guns around, and sometimes a sharp blade is enough to keep folks at bay. Why do you need intimidation tactics? From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men, and believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. So where are all the men now? Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them I ended up marrying. Wait, why? If they're thick-headed, guess I enjoyed the way he bled. Her expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke. Who was that? The woman from Deponia that oh, it's been too long. I forgot everyone's name. There was someone who was very violent too. Forgot his name. Where's your husband now? Gone. Gone where? To the waves. Her eyes stop in yours. This Tony. Was it Tony? No, Tony was the person who was with Rufus at the very beginning. Not her. Not her. The yeah, not Tony. Who was the one you have to coach him into like singing her a love poem or something. And she's like really, really, really violent. Not Goal. I forget which of the games it was from, too. Who was the guy that he was always saying that he was a pirate? Or no, not a pirate. Was it a pirate? I can't take it. I can't take forgetting like this. He's the guy that follows you in a whole bunch of the adventures. Not his dad? God. Bozo is the guy I'm thinking about. And Bambina was the girlfriend. Okay, yes, there we go. Google saves us yet again. The waves. Oh. Say no more, wait for her to continue. He didn't respect the sea, went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. You should have thrown yourselves in the waves. Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it? Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. She glances at the village where 2 kids are playing with what look like rocks. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. Is that your boat? Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. What do you do around here? Like I said, fish, mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids. Pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. Is that enough to make a living? Sometimes I also walk on the beach and see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises. Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. Interesting. What have you found? Wood? Pieces of glass? Every once in a while, we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general, but most of the time it's just wood and glass. Rhetoric is warning me that I only get to say... I get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. I'm not going to say the RCM could use a mine, but I'd like to know where it is so that I don't step on it. She's not going to know about the dead bodies. Who cares? Well, the RCM has to wait for another one because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay, and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing. Spiky? Must have been a naval contact mine. -1. Kim's presence makes it awkward for me to ask her on a date. And also, I don't know a good spot yet. If I did, I would not have a -6. I'm not going to date her. I'm on the case. Looking for someone. Maybe you can help? Let's see. Who are you looking for? I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists. Ugh. I don't think I know what those are. Care to elaborate? People who look for imaginary animals. Aha, like snowmen. Snowmen? I haven't heard about those. Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in the sand, with talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. The like? Right. Not only snowmen, but green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture. Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous. Where did they go? I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. She points north. Who else are you looking for, besides snowmen? Idiot Doom Spiral over there needs his jacket. Have you seen it? Remarkable. That one already lost everything else, and now his jacket, too? It's a good thing... It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer looking for it. Good old Doom Spiral. Upper management to the core. It's odd. Collecting evidence to charge him with petty theft. I could do that. I do have the ability to ticket people. I could find the jacket and then keep it and then throw him in jail for stealing it. Trying to help a stranger. That's sweet of you. It really is. I'd check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk. Drunks are inexplicably drawn to markets. Might be why they have such trouble staying in business. Phenomenon that the spectral hand theory of the market fails to account for. If one of them's lost something, it's as good a place to start looking as any. Be seeing you. Another 5 cents and I can afford a room. That leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. The planks creak beneath your weight. I never actually confirmed, but I think it's possible that those, Why is this still examinable? Oh! Oh, there was stuff in there. Roots of plus perception. Instead of composure? Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride it into the night. The heel comes in handy, too. It definitely makes you a good 5 centimeters taller. But could it be it's also making you sharper? More perspective to your surroundings now that you've gained a new perspective? Wear 'em. There we go. I might have had something I was going to say and forgot. Nope, not real? Not real. So there's an abandoned fish market somewhere that might, oh, that's what I was going to say. I wonder if those dots, the colored ones, Like, that was yellow. Is it dependent on your perception? Just like some of the other things are probably dependent on a stat. Like, would there be different ones if I had different stats, perhaps? Another healing item, very good. Rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Rust-eaten letters read Mazout. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it, and a small layer of white salt from the sea. Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad. This partner of things, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk, though? We know he tried to shoot. I don't want to depress him by reminding him that he missed the shot. I'll just nod. Feld Electrical. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage is peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to entwine with the loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of peeled layers remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away. Looks like tomorrow never came. All right.
And Mikhail, notice the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinaise. I'm Trant Heidelstadt. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Who is this guy?
Nice to meet you.
Hypertext.
Yes, hypertext. Jan carved in the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
What's that about the windows before?
So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago, so they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the extremely artificial cadence of a professor or someone who's been on too many radio
but I
shows.
assume you're not here for giant worms, when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries. Do you have any money? See, it would be fun to play a bum cop. Just constantly ask people for spare change. It's so fascinating about an empty old building. Aha, but it's not just any empty old building. He raises his hand to shield himself from the freezing snow. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical, and Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom. What's R&D? It says it right there. Research and development. Research? Look at the building looming Oreo. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed roof top. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on the windowsill. What's an R&D department? Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes. You're probably more familiar with RTD, research and technological development. Mea culpa, you are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. Don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical. That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. He adjusts his suit jacket. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. He gestures towards the building. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here. What was that ace? It was here in Martinez, possibly. In this... Yeah, Martinez is the, the tiny little town that we're in. Revachol is the name of the island, maybe? Like the whole island? But Martinez is the city that we're in. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. Tape computer? Mm-hmm. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-at-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants Ream, ICN, and ZAM haven't achieved yet. He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind. What happened? Indeed, what? The revolution? The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. What happened to the engineers, the company people? Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. He smiles again, as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers, he's saying we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution? Tape computers, right. Tape computers. No, let's not ask about tape computers. Let's leave. Thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed. Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talk... Whatever. You're wasting my time. I gotta look for bullets. Bullet holes, bullet residue. An empty power box. Charges nothing now. It's empty. Fence blocks the path. No way on from here, unless you have a time machine. Man, $5. That's that perk. Going to work. Can I get up there somehow? I must be able to. Is that the jacket? Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I think this is the jacket idiot Doom Spiral guy wanted me to find. Looks at the stinking rag and sniffs. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned. Filthy jacket. Oh, it's not clothing. I can't wear it. It's been at the mercy of the elements for quite some time. It's streaked with seagull shit and abnormally stiff from God knows what natural processes. You can't even tell what brand it is. How did this jacket get so disgusting? It's a sordid and filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left undiscovered. Don't even try. Seriously. Composure does not want me to try. I'm going to think about it, though. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in gray strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Okay, what's the crust made of? Can I lose a hit point? Somehow it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impression of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before being draped over the railing. What happened once someone put it over the railing? The crust is hard. This jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? I'm just gonna pretend I didn't think about any of this. It's too late! You've already thought about it. Now your hands are covered in muck. Could I ruin these nice pants? What? No! Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. That's what I get, I guess. Do I have a... I don't have a point to spend. Oh, 3 more experience and I will have a point to spend. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. Level up! Coin-operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Can I give those to him? Whose idiotic idea were square and beige plastic frames anyway? Beige is a color that does not look good on anyone. Not to mention that seeing the world through these exceedingly thick lenses feels almost nauseating. I can sell them, I guess. A postcard. Fat stacks of cash. Big wine canister. It's open and empty. This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. The smell. It's awful and familiar. Isn't it just the rotting fish? Don't be naive. Oh no. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness? Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. What's that smell? The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here. Working class corpse. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on. The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days, no longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. Study the surroundings. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. Chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. Examine the bottle. 0.75 liter Tolola vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. Tear all around us. He looks at 2 other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your plastic yellow bag. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper. Chewing gum wrapper. Rubowski Spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum, too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is in there, solidified on his lower rear teeth. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head, an open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Hard to say. Looks like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Study the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. Folded a library card. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded in 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your touch. We should take a look at that library card after this is done. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know the spot to come here. You don't just walk here. He looks south, the way you came. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? Could be a murder. We do know he was married. I didn't catch that. My perception is bad. The lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and gray. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. What do you think happened here? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he could be alive. Do you think he was drunk? Oh, yes. What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about the kebab? What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the pox. Someone should be held responsible for this broken... It is dangerous. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. Right. Does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, though there's still a question of identifying the body. What should we do with him? From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. What about field autopsy? A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma on the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Isn't that kind of sloppy? I'm a hero cop. We don't have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest. We found him. We should finish this. Alright. We should first examine that library card you found on the ground. Then we can call the station for my Kanema. Let them know we're taking the case. Here's the postcard I forgot to look at. This one has hell written on its back. It could not be further from the truth. It's the boom years, and Koran, the nicest district in Revachol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron, and yellow limestone, with cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Oh, I'm like, what is that? It's just part of the background. The library card is folded in two and still slightly wet to the touch. Front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library card issued to Billy Megine. Expires July 53. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a Little Less Between Me and the Sun. The last one on the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. A library stamp indicates the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers, too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005-02-55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 9 to 18. We should give them a call for my Kanema, see if we can learn anything about Billy Megine. Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. I wonder if he, since there was sci-fi stuff and everything is connected... Examine the tear. What I was going to say is I wonder if it could turn out that he's connected to that that place that was making the radio MMORPG, because we still need that password for no real reason. 2 empty bottles of Tolola vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up, they seem unhygienic. A tragedy. The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Shakes his head with genuine sadness. Cigarette package. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Kebab wrapper. Traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. No older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. Floorboards look rotten and weak. I wonder if running there puts you in danger, or if it's just that there's certain places that are not safe to step. Can I get around to the side of here at all? Doesn't look like it. Can't go over here? I guess not. I wonder if tear isn't pronounced tear. Actually something way Frenchier than that. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone unless you're out of change. Dial a random number? I'll do it. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up. Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? No, this is not Pierre. Do you have any news about Pierre? Who is Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Oh, Pitch told me what that's called. The, what do you call that? The, scam calls in Japan where they... Is it called ore ore? Or boku boku? Or something? You, like... The caller starts off by just saying like stuttering and saying the word I and hoping that the person on the other end says like the name of someone that they think it might be, so they can be like, yeah, it's me, Taro-kun. A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyway. It's a shame what you did to our country. The woman moans, and the phone lines howl in unison with her. No, I'm a police officer. To hell with the police. To hell with you. Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volumes until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.